best there would be an acceptance, but this was improbable. Domination was most likely, but how serious it would be we couldn't gauge. In any case, there would be little we could do. None of us, George included, could separate a pair of brawling lions. And so we waited. Boy appeared to ignore the approach of Christian, looking away with studied indifference. It was Catania, all innocence looking for fun, who precipitated the whole thing. Tanya tried to show that she was still friendly, but it was the wrong moment to choose. There undoubtedly would be fights in the future, but after this we felt confident Boy wouldn't kill Christian or drive him off. Even in this first scuffle, Boy hadn't used his claws or teeth. Now we knew that Christian, the lion from World's End, could take his place in the pride George planned to make. The three lions were now able to live in one compound, from which they would be able to wander in and out, as they pleased, to establish themselves in the area, to stake their claim. And this was the moment that Ace and John had been dreading most. It was time to say goodbye to their old friend Christian. As they watched him playing happily with Catania, a dozen images flashed through their minds. World's End, the furniture shop, football in the graveyard, the gypsy caravan, a day by the sea. Their lives would never quite be the same now. They'd found and known and lost a very special friend. And so a strange little family was formed. George, a lion from Born Free, a little orphan, and Christian. But our work to this point was only the first step. Our lions must learn how to hunt together, to make a kill. And there's the problem of territory. We were the intruders. It belonged to the wild lions of the area. tough, aggressive, resentful of intruders. Only the fittest had survived. To them, our lions were the enemy. To us, they could be the deadly ending to all our hopes. You may see nothing, but you can never be quite sure. Lions are easily absorbed into the landscape. Even in spiky bush country, you can pass within a few yards and not know that you're being watched. George, for the moment, provided food and would need to for several months, at least until Boy was fit enough to hunt again, to make a kill. We didn't know if Christian had instinct or inclination for either. It seemed he just wanted to be friends with everyone. In a pride, the mature dominant male usually eats first. If the others can't resist, if the pangs of hunger are too much, they must be prepared to risk a beating. The pecking order has to be established and maintained. And Christian would find this a useful lesson if he ever tried to join wild lions on a kill.
Only a few miles from the camp is the Tana River. In the dry season, George reckoned, more and more animals would need to travel to the river, invade the territory of the fish eagle. And they would startle the strange snake bird. The river and its green, lush banks was a potential source of food for all predators, and, with a little improvisation, for George and Terence too. The river provided both water and food. As the inland waterholes turned to grey, muddy crusts, more and more animals would travel to its verdant banks. These would probably become the hunting grounds for our lions, and for those we hadn't as yet seen. The strong-smelling waterbuck and eland that came to drink, and the cool, innocent-looking water itself, were both asset and hidden danger. They were to lead to tragedies we could not possibly have foreseen.
No longer alone now is Christian the lion. He's part of a pride in a small family. But the trials are not over, they're only beginning. Dangers there are before him in his liberty.
As the weeks went by, the lions went off exploring on their own. It was, I suppose, inevitable they would end up where there was most interest, somewhere along the river. Catania, with her short little legs, couldn't possibly keep up. Boy, with his great friend,